Yeah. Welcome back to the course on fighting multiple attackers. Now in the first video I showed you that having a dominant clinch can help you to control multiple people in a fight by using one guy as a human shield while you rip knees into his body. So if you haven't watched that video, there should be a link above this one. Go ahead and watch that first. Now in this video I'm going to give you the secret to locking in your clinch so that it can't be escaped, so that you have constant control. I'll also give you the secret to tossing your opponents around effortlessly, even if you're the smaller or weaker guy in the fight. As a final ridiculous bonus, I'll teach you how to throw what might be the most powerful strike in all of martial arts. And if you manage to get the strike to land, you will immediately drop one of your opponents. Fair warning, there's a lot of technique in this lesson, because this is actually real fighting and not some fake ass bullshit. Look, if you're trying to find some moves where you can stab your fingers into a guy's neck and he passes out, you're dreaming. Anytime you're fighting more than one person, it's probably going to be difficult, and every single person you add makes it even tougher than that. Now, I'm not trying to say that you can't take these dudes out quickly, but you have to have a strategy, and the moves in that strategy have to drop people. So let's get started. Now that I've taken this clinch with an attack, I need to start dragging this guy around by his head. And in order to do that, I need to utilize clinch rule number 2, squeeze your elbows together. Now, before I even start talking about that, if I don't squeeze my elbows together, Deontay can shoot up and in, take his own clinch, and now he's kneeing me in the body. Elbows block him from pommeling in. So I take a clinch, I squeeze my elbows together, go ahead and try and get him in. Okay, I can block his arms from taking his clinch. I maintain control of his head, even when he's really trying to squeeze him in there. Now let's look at the clinch jaw lock. It's ferocious. Now the reason why your elbow pinch is so important when you're dragging the guy around is that by squeezing your elbows together, you're actually able to lock underneath your opponent's jaw with your forearms. So the clinch isn't about squeezing the sides of the guy's head with whatever muscles do this. It's about locking your elbows together, and now you're practically attached to his head. Your jaw, or his jaw, becomes a handle that you can just yank on. And with the amount of force that we're going to be using to drag him around and the amount of body weight we're going to be transferring in these movements, you have to be practically attached to the guy. Again, it's that elbow pinch and the ability to touch your elbows together that makes that possible. The old clinch jaw lock. Now let's not forget that compressing the guy's neck affects stuff like his ability to breathe or pump blood. Before we move on, hey Deontay, tell us a story.
So one time Trav was teaching class.
We were talking about how you can get rid of
So you can clearly hear how when I pinch my elbows together, it affects his ability to breathe. It makes it tougher for him to force air in and out of his throat. Now at the same time that's happening, my forearms are also pinching his carotid arteries. So I actually slow down the major channels of blood flow to his brain. I'm attacking his wind, I'm also attacking his ability to pump blood, at the same time ripping knees into his body to make it even tougher for him to breathe. On top of that, I'm making it challenging for him to even stand up straight. I'm making him use major core muscles to maintain his posture. When all of these factors add up, you can see how this thing actually exhausts people in 15 to 20 seconds, and then they just land on the ground in piles of useless exhaustion. The clinch fatigues people and it drains them, and this is one of the secrets behind it. Don't let him breathe, don't let him pump blood, and knock the guy's wind out. Pardon my language. I get a little excited sometimes. All right, you built up your clinch enough for now. Let's start using this thing to toss people around by their heads. One of the most important moves in this entire strategy is called an angle drag, and it's responsible for maybe 90% of the positioning in this kind of a fight. Okay, it's this move that we're going to use in order to toss this guy around and keep him between ourselves and the other opponent. So let's say somebody's running around over here, he's trying to punch me in the side of the head. I step, drag, I keep this guy between me and the other man. Somebody throws a punch, I slip, I can do a nice little angle drag, keeps me again nice and safe. Or let's say there's somebody behind me, I can do an 180-degree angle drag where I basically switch positions entirely with this guy. This is also the move you're going to use to set up the most powerful strike in the history of mankind. So let's break this one down step by step. So I have Deontay clinched. I'm gonna take a step with my left foot and open up my body on that step. And it's in this movement that I wanna feel myself connect with this guy's body weight. I wanna start getting his body mass moving this way. Now, instead of doing what everyone wants to do and just kind of muscling people with their core and with their arms, I'm gonna open up and I'm gonna let my body weight fall. And in the moment that I let it fall, I'm going to drive using the big, powerful muscles in my leg in this direction. So I step, and that's what gives me the powerful snapping action that actually swings this guy effortlessly across my field of vision. Now there's a couple details that really make a difference in this move, so please pay attention to this next part. So let's take a slightly deeper look at this. In order to be successful with this move, you have to be willing to let your body weight fall. Okay, you have to let it drop and kind of be ready to catch yourself at the last second with your other leg, but you're not gonna have to catch any of your body weight. He is. In fact, every single ounce of force that you transfer driving this way and falling is immediately latched onto his neck. That's going to pull him off posture, it's gonna break his balance, it's going to waste his energy, it's not going to waste an ounce of your energy. Now after you toss this guy and he goes flying trying to catch his balance, the last thing he's going to be thinking about is defending himself against this strike right here. The most powerful knee of all time. So we're going to start this move with an 180-degree angle drag. And I want you to notice the moment where Deontay's body weight catches onto mine and actually yanks me into this move. So I step, drag, and right there you can see where his body weight attaches and it pulls me into him. Now I want to time that moment with the most powerful knee that I can throw. And I'm actually going to use my arms to tear my body further into the movement. So here we go. I step, drag, I step, drag, and I throw the most vicious knee that I can possibly throw. And I get to add up all the power that was created for this entire movement. All the power from my angle drag still ends up pulling me into the next move. I get to yank myself into it, and I get to thrust my hips, trying to drive my knee through this guy's body. Hit somebody with that, and I would be shocked if the guy gets back up to his feet. This knee is so powerful that we can't even demonstrate it on a body protector full speed, so I hope you get the point, even though we're obviously holding the thing back a little bit. And it's so powerful for a few reasons. One, you have a ton of distance in space. There's like 5 feet between that guy's body and your knee by the end of the movement. And as soon as your arms catch, he's literally yanking you into the strike. He gets your body weight moving for you. And on top of that, unlike a flying knee where you're running and jumping into the knee, you actually have your arms connected, so every single bit of force that you can pull into that guy's head gets immediately translated behind your kneecap. That adds up to a brutal strike. Now admittedly the hip thrusting part came out a little weird, but that adds power too. Now don't forget that after that knee lands, you still have all your forward momentum. So by all means rip that knee and then rip a knee from the other side, pulling into your arms just as hard. Then angle drag the guy again and blast him with another knee. He falls, do it to the next guy, rinse and repeat until everybody is dead. Or, you know, just use your best judgment. So that's pretty much it for this lesson. You can lock your clinch, toss people, and bury them with knees. So good on you. Now the next lesson might be the most important one in the entire course because we're going to talk about the mental side of fighting in a number of different ways. Look, fighting multiple people is like a damn chess match. And if you're not constantly focused on your position and being watchful of people trying to sneak up behind you, you might get sucker punched in the back of the head, and that's when you end up face down getting stomped. So we're going to prevent that crap from happening. Also, we're going to talk about the emotional side of fighting and how to deal with things before a fight even starts. Look, fear can be the biggest weapon that you have, or it can be a stake in the heart. I'll tell you right now, if you're fighting 5 dudes, it's going to be very difficult to physically take them all out. But if you crush one of them so badly that the other 4 are afraid to go near you, you just won the fight with the mental game. So we're going to address that issue as well. Don't lose fights before they start. It's ridiculous. Now every now and again, something like this appears. It's not common, but once in a blue moon, you will see a weapon pop up in a fight, and you better believe I'm not going to bring a clinch to a knife fight. So this is something I need you to be prepared for. We will talk about weapons in the next couple of videos. By the way, I practiced this a lot, so I hope you're impressed. Alright, that's pretty much it. Now you know the drill. Stab the like button as many times as you can because it makes me happy. And make sure you leave your questions and comments down below. I will do my best to answer every single one of them, and I really do appreciate your feedback. Now in the meantime, have a safe and fantastic day, and should any problems arise, Drop some knees on those fools. These knees. Yeah. Yeah.